Are the Dallas Cowboys quietly positioning themselves for a blockbuster move that could shake the entire NFL? Right now, it looks like business as usual, but behind the scenes, momentum is building for something much bigger. Some believe Dallas is just exploring options, staying cautious and protecting their future, while others are convinced this is the moment Jerry Jones finally goes all in to chase a championship. So what's the real plan, and which superstar could be on the move?
Because if this deal comes together, it won't just impact the Cowboys, it could completely reshape the balance of power across the league overnight.
Something huge is brewing in Dallas right now. And if you're a Cowboys fan, you might want to sit down for this, because the latest trade buzz could completely reshape the future of this team overnight. The front office has been unusually active behind the scenes. Sources are talking, insiders are connecting dots, and all signs are pointing toward a potential blockbuster move that could send shockwaves across the entire NFL.
This is not your typical rumor mill noise. This feels different, calculated, and very real. Right now, the Dallas Cowboys are sitting in a very interesting position. They're not rebuilding, they're not desperate, but they are right on the edge of being true contenders. That's the key. Teams in this position don't just sit back and hope things fall into place. They make aggressive moves, they take risks, and that's exactly what Dallas appears to be preparing for. What makes this situation even more intriguing is the timing. We're at that stage where teams began evaluating whether they have enough to make a serious run or whether they need one more piece. For the Cowboys, it's clear. They believe they're one major addition away from competing at the highest level. And when a team like Dallas identifies that window, they don't hesitate for long.
Now let's talk about what kind of move we're actually looking at here. This isn't about adding a depth player or making a minor upgrade. This is about targeting a high-impact star, a game changer, someone who can step in immediately and elevate the entire roster. The kind of player that forces defenses to adjust, that creates mismatches, that changes the way opponents game plan.
There are a few key areas where Dallas could be looking to upgrade, and one of the biggest talking points right now is the offensive side of the ball. Imagine adding another elite weapon to support the current core, someone who can stretch the field, create separation, and give the quarterback another reliable option in high-pressure situations. That alone could transform the offense into one of the most dangerous units in the league.
But it doesn't stop there. There's also been strong speculation about a potential defensive addition, and if that's the direction Dallas goes, it could be even more impactful. Adding a dominant defensive presence, whether it's a pass rusher, a shutdown corner, or a versatile linebacker, could take an already solid defense and turn it into an elite one. That's the kind of move that wins championships.
What's really fueling this conversation is the growing belief that Dallas has the assets to make something big happen. Draft picks, young talent, cap flexibility, everything you need to pull off a blockbuster deal is there. The question isn't whether they can do it. The question is whether they will.
And from everything we're hearing, the answer is leaning heavily toward yes.
There's a sense of urgency within the organization. You can feel it. This is a team that knows opportunities like this don't come around every year. Windows close fast in the NFL, and Dallas doesn't want to waste theirs. They've built a strong foundation, and now they're looking to take that final step.
Let's also consider the pressure. This is the Dallas Cowboys we're talking about. Expectations are always sky high. Fans demand results. Ownership wants success. And when you combine that pressure with a roster that's already competitive, it creates the perfect environment for a bold move.
Another factor that can't be ignored is the competition. The NFC is getting tougher. Teams are loading up, making moves, improving their rosters. If Dallas wants to stay ahead, or even just keep up, they have to respond. Standing still is not an option.
And that brings us back to this potential blockbuster trade. The kind of move that doesn't just improve your team, it sends a message. A message to the league, to your rivals, and to your own locker room that you're all in.
Now, let's break down what a deal like this could actually look like. Typically, blockbuster trades involve multiple assets. We're talking high draft picks, possibly a young player with upside, and maybe even more depending on the caliber of the star being targeted. It's not cheap. It's a commitment. But here's the thing. Dallas is in a position where making that kind of investment makes sense. They're not starting from scratch. They're building on something real. And when you're that close, sometimes you have to take that leap. There's also the psychological impact of a move like this. Bringing in a big-name player energizes the team. It boosts morale, it creates excitement in the locker room and among the fan base. It changes the narrative. Suddenly, you're not just a good team, you're a serious threat. Of course, there are risks involved. Every big trade comes with uncertainty. Will the player fit into the system? Will they live up to expectations? Will the chemistry work? These are all valid concerns. But that's the nature of taking big swings. You don't get big rewards without some level of risk. And let's be honest, playing it safe hasn't exactly delivered championships for Dallas in recent years. At some point, you have to be willing to go all in.
Another interesting angle here is how quiet things have been publicly. Usually, when a move this big is in the works, leaks start happening, details start coming out. But in this case, information has been surprisingly controlled. That could mean one of two things. Either nothing is happening, or something very big is being carefully orchestrated behind closed doors.
Given the recent reports and the growing buzz, it's hard to believe this is all just smoke. Fans are already speculating about potential targets, debating what they'd be willing to give up, and imagining what the team could look like with that one missing piece added. And that's what makes this so exciting. The possibilities are endless.
Imagine a scenario where Dallas lands a top-tier player and instantly becomes one of the most complete teams in the league. Offense firing on all cylinders, defense shutting down opponents, momentum building week after week. That's not just a dream, that's a realistic outcome if this move goes through.
And let's not forget the impact on the rest of the division. A blockbuster move by Dallas would force other teams to react. It could shift the balance of power. It could turn an already competitive division into an absolute battleground. All eyes are now on the front office. Every decision, every move, every piece of information is being analyzed and dissected. Fans are waiting, the league is watching, and the tension is building. At the end of the day, this comes down to one simple question. Are the Cowboys ready to take that next step? Everything we're seeing suggests they are. The positioning, the resources, the timing, it all lines up. This is the moment where teams either rise or stay stuck in the middle, and Dallas doesn't want to be stuck anymore. If this trade happens, it could be one of the defining moments of the season. A turning point, the move that changes everything. So keep your eyes open, stay locked in, and don't blink. Because when this deal goes down, it's going to happen fast, and it's going to be massive.